Today, we've compiled a pretty legendary list of the best captains to ever play for each NHL franchise. We've outlined each player's achievements, stats, and impact on their team and how they rank as a captain in NHL history. Let's dive right in. Boston Bruins, Ray Bourque. When discussing the most dominant defenseman in hockey history, Ray Bourque's name inevitably rises to the top. Beginning with his tenure as captain of the Boston Bruins in 1985, he became an absolute force for over 2 decades with the team. Throughout his remarkable tenure with the Bruins, Bourque accumulated a host of career accomplishments, including his 5 Norris Trophy wins and an impressive 17 consecutive NHL All-Star selections. Over his 21 seasons in Boston, he amassed an unrivaled 1,506 points in 1,518 games and notched 1,111 assists, all standing as franchise records. Bourque proudly sported the captain's C on his jersey until 2000, before he was traded to the Colorado Avalanche, where he went on to win his one and only Stanley Cup championship. Bourque embodied the essence of leadership, efficiency, and unwavering commitment, serving as a shining example of what it means to be a captain. Widely regarded as one of the greatest NHL players of all time, he will forever be etched in the hearts of millions as a beloved Boston Bruin. Buffalo Sabres, Gilbert Perreault. For a remarkable 17 years, Gilbert Perreault was a stalwart for the Buffalo Sabres, dedicating his entire career to the Sabres and playing a pivotal role in establishing their prominence. Although he only held the captaincy from 1981 to 1986, it was during this period that he showcased the profound impact he would have on the franchise. Recognized as one of the greatest centers in the history of the sport, Perreault was a key component of the legendary French Connection line that dominated the NHL in the 1970s. With Perreault leading the charge, he consistently put up impressive stat lines, leaving an indelible mark on the franchise throughout his illustrious career. He still holds franchise records for regular season games played, assists, goals, total points, and game-winning goals. The Buffalo Sabres paid tribute to Perreault's extraordinary contributions by rightfully retiring his number 11 jersey. This enduring honor commemorates his remarkable achievements with the Sabres, which also included being named an NHL All-Star on 8 separate occasions. Montreal Canadiens, Jean Beliveau. The Montreal Canadiens are undeniably the pinnacle of excellence in the NHL, having secured the Stanley Cup championship an astonishing 24 times. During these golden years, this dynasty was led by none other than the legendary Jean Beliveau. Beliveau holds the distinction of being the sole player in NHL history to claim 10 Stanley Cup championships as a player and then secure an additional 7 as an executive with the Canadiens. This remarkable total of 17 Stanley Cup championships within a single franchise underscores Belivau's profound impact on the world of professional hockey. He is widely regarded by many hockey critics as one of the greatest players of all time. Serving as the team captain of the Canadiens for a remarkable decade, Beliveau exemplified loyalty, precision, and an unwavering sense of pride in representing the most esteemed team in hockey. Belivau's remarkable career also saw him represent the Canadiens in 13 NHL All-Star games and receive the NHL Lifetime Achievement Award in 2009. His legacy in the NHL is one that is respected and celebrated, solidifying his status as one of the most revered captains in league history. New Jersey Devils, Scott Stevens. From 1992 to 2004, Scott Stevens led the New Jersey Devils to an impressive 3 Stanley Cup championships, leaving an indelible mark on the franchise. A highly regarded defenseman, Stevens enjoyed a remarkable 22-year career, with the most significant achievements occurring during his tenure with the Devils. What truly defines Stevens' captaincy is the role he played in shaping the Devils' identity during their championship-winning years. The team's foundation was built on being an elite defensive force capable of stifling any opponent. Whenever opposing teams faced Stevens and his Devils, they were met with an aggressive, physically demanding style of play every game. His leadership emphasized delivering hard hits, protecting close leads, and making their defensive presence felt. In recognition of his outstanding career, Stevens was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2007, his first year of eligibility. However, fans will forever associate him with his time with the Devils, even though he spent a few years with the Washington Capitals and St. Louis Blues. His contributions to the Devils will always stand as the pinnacle of his career. Detroit Red Wings, Steve Yzerman. Steve Yzerman was drafted by the Red Wings in the 1983 NHL Draft, marking the start of a transformative period for the franchise. 3 years later, Yzerman was officially appointed as the team's captain, and this marked the beginning of an illustrious chapter in the team's history. Yzerman was a prolific scorer. From 1987 until the magical year of 1996, Yzerman consistently tallied over 100 points per season, showcasing his scoring prowess. In 1996, Yzerman embarked on a historic journey, leading the Red Wings to back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. During the 1997 championship run, he put up remarkable numbers, with 6 goals, 18 assists, and a career-high 24 points in the playoffs, a feat that was unprecedented at the time. Yzerman not only solidified his status as one of the greatest captains in NHL history, but also received the ultimate honor in 2007, when the franchise retired his iconic jersey number 19. His banner in the arena was adorned with the letter C, forever designating him as the captain and commemorating his profound impact on the franchise, a truly remarkable gesture for an extraordinary player. Toronto Maple Leafs, George Armstrong. During an impressive career spanning 21 seasons, George Armstrong dedicated the majority of his playing days to the Toronto Maple Leafs. He became a prominent figure within the organization during the 1950s and reached the pinnacle of his performance in the 1960s. Armstrong's remarkable skills earned him a spot in the NHL's All-Star Game 7 times, and when he assumed the role of team captain in 1957, his legacy truly began to take shape. Armstrong played a pivotal role in establishing the Maple Leafs as a dominant force in the league, securing 4 Stanley Cup championships in the 1960s. Known for his unwavering dedication, Armstrong was often the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave, setting the standard for his teammates. This work ethic remains highly regarded even decades later, as Armstrong's leadership was characterized by both his words and actions. It's been over 50 years since he retired, yet his impact on the Maple Leafs franchise is further exemplified by still holding the franchise record for most games played. George sadly passed in 2021, but his number proudly hangs in the rafters as one of the all-time greats in Toronto. New York Islanders, Dennis Potvin. It was during the golden era of the 1980s that Dennis Potvin etched his name into the hockey history books. Potvin steered the red-hot Islanders to an incredible 4 consecutive Stanley Cup championships, a feat achieved between 1979 and 1983. As the team's captain, he was known for his exceptional intelligence and innovative approach. Potvin consistently made the most out of every situation, adapting to opponents' tactics. Over the prime years of his career, he evolved into an outstanding all-around leader who earned the respect of his peers and fans alike. Following his retirement from professional hockey in 1988, Potvin embarked on a successful broadcasting career, delighting audiences with his distinctive style of calling hockey games. While unconventional, Potvin's commentary was a source of enjoyment for viewers, adding to his legendary status both on and off the ice. New York Rangers, Mark Messier. Just as the New York Islanders dominated the hockey scene in the 1980s, the same level of prominence can be said about the New York Rangers in the 1990s, and even into the early 2000s. This success was primarily a result of the Rangers seizing their golden opportunity to secure a Stanley Cup in 1994, with captain Mark Messier leading the way. Messier not only excelled as the Rangers captain, but also etched his name into sports history with an unforgettable moment. In the decisive Game 7 of the 1994 Stanley Cup Finals, he scored the game-winning goal against the Vancouver Canucks, securing the Rangers their first championship in over half a century. Undoubtedly, Messier stands as a true legend and a distinguished figure in the realm of hockey. His impact is so profound that the NHL established a special award in his honor, presented annually to players who exemplify exceptional leadership. When contemplating a Mount Rushmore of NHL team captains, it is nearly impossible to do so without including Messier among the greats. Philadelphia Flyers, Bobby Clarke. When reminiscing about the Philadelphia Flyers during the mid to late 1970s and early 1980s, the iconic moniker Broad Street Bullies immediately comes to mind. Reflecting on the BSB era evokes fond memories of center Bobby Clarke, whose significant contributions to the team's toughness helped cement that nickname. Clarke dedicated his entire 15-year career to the Flyers, and as their captain from 1973 to 1979, he led the Flyers to not one, but two Stanley Cup championships in 1974 and 75. Widely regarded as one of the greatest captains in hockey history, Clarke personified tenacity, precision, and excellence in every facet of his involvement with the team. It's no secret that under his captaincy, the Flyers emerged as a dominant force in the hockey world. In addition to his championship success, Clarke earned the Hart Trophy 3 times and represented the Flyers in 9 NHL All-Star games. His exceptional skills on the ice transitioned seamlessly into a management role with the Flyers after retiring as a player. He will be forever etched into history as a legend in Philadelphia. Pittsburgh Penguins, Mario Lemieux. When discussing the title of the most beloved captain in hockey history, Mario Lemieux of the Pittsburgh Penguins frequently claims the top spot. Lemieux's remarkable career with the Penguins spanned 17 years, including multiple tenures as team captain, spanning the 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s, during which he faced numerous injuries and health challenges. Nevertheless, he consistently gave his all on the ice when it mattered most. Even when battling cancer, he became a source of inspiration for millions worldwide, demonstrating unwavering determination to build a championship-caliber team. Lemieux played a pivotal role in the Penguins' back-to-back Stanley Cup victories in 1991 and 1992. His remarkable achievements cement his place in the NHL history books as the only individual to have his name engraved on the Stanley Cup both as a player and an owner. Washington Capitals, Alex Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin has earned the nickname the Great Eight for good reason, as he is a scoring phenomenon in the world of hockey. His journey began in 2005 when he made his debut with the Washington Capitals, immediately showcasing his extraordinary speed, remarkable shooting skills, and the uncanny ability to score at will. In his rookie year, he set the league on fire with 52 goals, 54 assists, and led all other rookies in total points, leaving the hockey world in awe. In 2010, he assumed the role of team captain, and for more than a decade, he has continued to solidify his status as one of the greatest players in both franchise and NHL history. With the Capitals, he has claimed an NHL record 9 Rocket Richard trophies, while consistently demonstrating his ability to score rapidly and effortlessly. Ovechkin's crowning achievement came in 2018 when he led the Capitals to a Stanley Cup victory, silencing doubters who questioned his ability to win a championship. Even in his late 30s, Ovechkin remains a formidable force in the NHL, proving that age is merely a number. He continues to perform at the highest level while chasing Gretzky's all-time goals record. Vancouver Canucks, Henrik Sedin. It's no doubt that Henrik Sedin made a memorable and lasting impact on the Vancouver Canucks during his 8-year tenure as team captain, which began in 2010. Henrik Sedin was known for his scoring prowess and his passing ability. Under Sedin's leadership, the Canucks experienced numerous winning seasons and made several appearances in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He was a crucial part of the Canucks' run to the Stanley Cup final in 2011, tallying 22 points in 25 games. Vancouver, however, would ultimately fall to the Boston Bruins in Game 7 of the finals that year. Henrik Sedin concluded his career with impressive stats, retiring as the franchise's all-time leader in games played, assists, points, and plus-minus rating. His legacy, along with his twin brother Daniel, will live on forever in Canucks history. Winnipeg Jets, Blake Wheeler. The Winnipeg Jets and their devoted fans have endured their fair share of hardships, with the franchise yet to secure a Stanley Cup championship. However, in 2016, the Jets took a significant step in rebuilding the team when they appointed Blake Wheeler as captain. Known as a hard-nosed power forward with scoring ability around the net, Wheeler played a pivotal role in guiding the development of the team's emerging talents over his years as team captain. Although Wheeler relinquished his captaincy in September 2022, he is widely regarded as the best captain the Jets have ever had, and a huge fan favorite to the Jets faithful. Wheeler has since moved on to play for the New York Rangers, but he no doubt departed, leaving a legacy in Winnipeg. His impressive career numbers include being the franchise leader in games played, assists, and points. Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour. Rod Brind'Amour, a legendary center for the Carolina Hurricanes, proved to be the missing link in the team's journey to their Stanley Cup victory in 2006. During his captaincy, Brind'Amour fostered a locker room culture built on hard work, effort, and a constant drive to keep his fellow players motivated. Drawing from his extensive experience gained from his time with the St. Louis Blues and Philadelphia Flyers, Brind'Amour introduced a unique style of leadership that proved instrumental in the Hurricanes' 2006 Cup run. That year, he contributed significantly with 26 goals, 56 assists, and a total of 82 points. Brind'Amour even reached the career milestone of scoring his 1,000th point. His legacy as a fantastic captain, one who earned the respect of his peers, will be forever intertwined with ending the Hurricanes' championship drought. Edmonton Oilers, Wayne Gretzky. This list is, of course, not complete without the great one, Wayne Gretzky. There isn't much to say about Gretzky's time in Edmonton that isn't already etched into the hockey history books. When the Oilers officially named Gretzky their team captain in 1983, it marked the beginning of his legendary legacy. He led the Oilers for the next 5 years, during which they secured 4 Stanley Cup championships. Gretzky wasn't just an exceptional player, he was also a visionary in terms of hockey strategies and overall intelligence. His ability to perceive the game differently and utilize his teammates' strengths for collective success set him apart. It's intriguing to ponder what additional milestones Gretzky might have achieved if he had spent his entire career with the Oilers, rather than being traded in 1988, shortly after winning his 4th championship with the franchise. Nevertheless, for most hockey enthusiasts, Gretzky will forever be synonymous with the Oilers, as they were an iconic dynasty in the hockey world, featuring the greatest player of all time. Chicago Blackhawks, Jonathan Toews. Certainly, there are valid arguments in favor of other legendary players in Chicago Blackhawks history to be considered for this honor. However, the fact that Jonathan Toews guided the Blackhawks to 3 Stanley Cup championships in just 6 seasons stands as a compelling reason for him to be regarded as the greatest captain in the franchise's history. Toews was drafted as the 3rd overall pick in the 2006 NHL draft by Chicago, and his journey took a historic turn when he assumed the captaincy in 2008, becoming the third youngest captain in NHL history at that time. From that point onward, his legacy was solidified. Toews is widely recognized as one of the premier two-way players of his era, a dominant force in the face-off dot and a model of composure. Even in the most high-pressure situations, his calm and collected demeanor had a soothing effect on his teammates, and under his leadership, the team consistently embarked on deep playoff runs. While the future remains uncertain for the current Chicago captain due to ongoing health-related issues off the ice, his impact on the franchise cannot be overstated. He has etched his name into the Blackhawks' storied history books as Captain Serious, serving as a shining example of what it means to be an exceptional captain and a true legend in Chicago Blackhawks history. Calgary Flames, Jarome Iginla. When discussing the NHL's elite captains, those who combined prolific scoring, physicality, and clutch performances, one name stands out prominently: Jarome Iginla. Iginla's reputation as one of the greatest scorers in NHL history is well-deserved. Iginla is the franchise's all-time leader in points, goals, and games played, a testament to his enduring excellence throughout his remarkable 23-year NHL career, which spanned over 1,200 games with the Flames. Throughout most of his illustrious career, Iginla served as captain of the Flames, leading them to the Stanley Cup Final in 2004. Although he never brought a cup home to Calgary, he will forever live on as a fan favorite and beloved legend in Calgary. In 2019, the Flames paid tribute to his enduring legacy by retiring his iconic number 12 jersey, a fitting honor for a true hockey legend. Ottawa Senators, Daniel Alfredsson. Over the course of his 14 remarkable years serving as captain of the Ottawa Senators, Daniel Alfredsson consistently brought enthusiasm, confidence, and an undeniable sense of enjoyment to the ice. His innate leadership qualities shone brightly, and he continues to hold numerous franchise records, a testament to his prolific scoring ability and proficiency in orchestrating power play opportunities. Alfredsson's tenure with the Senators yielded impressive statistics, with over 400 goals, 700 assists, and a remarkable 1,100-plus points to his name. Under his captaincy, the Senators made 11 appearances in the playoffs, although never capturing a Stanley Cup. Almost a decade after Alfredsson's official retirement in 2014, the Senators paid tribute to his remarkable career by retiring his number 11 jersey, a testament to his exceptional career as an Ottawa Senator. Dallas Stars, Derian Hatcher. Standing tall at 6'5" and weighing 245 pounds, defenseman Derian Hatcher left an indelible mark during his time with the Dallas Stars in the 1990s. It was in this decade, particularly after Hatcher assumed the role of captain, that he showcased his exceptional talent, guiding the team to playoff appearances every season from 1996 to 2000. Hatcher's leadership transformed the Stars into perennial contenders in the mid to late 1990s, culminating in their triumphant Stanley Cup victory in 1999. In a historic moment, he became the first American-born captain to lift the Stanley Cup, representing his home state of Michigan with pride. To this day, no other captain for the Stars has served as long as Hatcher did, a remarkable tenure spanning from 1995 to 2003. Colorado Avalanche, Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic's legacy in the NHL is etched in history as one of the finest captains to have ever played the sport. He made a significant mark during his tenure with the Quebec Nordiques and continued to shine when the team relocated to Denver, becoming the Colorado Avalanche, where he played for over a decade. He played an instrumental role in securing 2 Stanley Cup championships with the Avalanche, all while embodying the essence of sportsmanship and professionalism. Sakic fostered an exceptional culture in the locker room. he cultivated an environment where players were genuinely committed to the team's cause and consistently gave their all on the ice. Sakic's commitment to maintaining this culture season after season ensured that the Avalanche remained a competitive force for a long time. Sakic's leadership and ability to keep his teammates focused on execution translated seamlessly to their performance on the ice. To this day, Sakic holds nearly every major franchise record for scoring, including goals, assists, and points. His reputation as an Iron Man among his peers is well deserved, as he still retains the franchise record for the most games played, an impressive 1,378 appearances. Nashville Predators, Shea Weber. Shea Weber served as captain of the Nashville Predators from 2010 to 2016. Although the Predators didn't secure a Stanley Cup under his leadership, Weber's tenure was undeniably remarkable. Weber's journey to captaincy was a testament to his hard work and dedication, embodying the role even before officially donning the coveted C on his jersey. His rise to leadership was a classic example of the old-fashioned way, earning his place through consistent and relentless effort. During his prime years, Weber earned numerous player awards, led all NHL defensemen in goals, and exhibited exceptional skill in generating points. His thunderous slapshots struck fear into goalies across the league. In his final season with the Predators, Weber was honored with the Mark Messier Leadership Award before eventually being traded to Montreal. Tampa Bay Lightning, Steven Stamkos. Steven Stamkos is undoubtedly a legendary figure for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Drafted in 2008, Stamkos was widely regarded as the best center in his class, and time has proven this assessment to be absolutely accurate. Stamkos assumed the role of team captain in 2013, a position he earned through his exceptional performance and goal-scoring prowess. Under his leadership, the Lightning have captured 2 Stanley Cup championships and have become a model of consistency in the regular season and playoffs. As of now, Stamkos holds several franchise records, including most goals, points, game-winning goals, and hat tricks. He is undoubtedly on track to become a future Hall of Famer, given his remarkable career stats with the Lightning. When the day eventually comes for him to retire, his jersey number will most certainly be retired into the rafters, cementing his legacy with the Lightning. Anaheim Ducks, Scott Niedermayer. The days when Scott Niedermayer served as the captain for the Anaheim Ducks are etched fondly in the memories of fans across the hockey world. In 2006, Niedermayer played a pivotal role in securing the first, and to date, only Stanley Cup championship for the Anaheim Ducks. While he was mostly recognized for his 3 previous Stanley Cup championships with the New Jersey Devils, Niedermayer's experience and leadership were precisely what the Ducks needed to become champions. Niedermayer delivered a remarkable performance during the championship-winning season, particularly in the Stanley Cup playoffs. As captain, he contributed 11 points in the postseason, leaving no doubt that he was playing at a high level still. His leadership was instrumental in the Ducks' journey to raise the Stanley Cup, a moment that will forever be etched in hockey history. Arizona Coyotes, Shane Doan. Shane Doan dedicated an impressive 21 years to the Winnipeg Jets franchise that continued when they relocated and became the Arizona Coyotes in 1996. Doan's legacy in the NHL is marked by his remarkable stint as one of the longest-serving captains in league history, a role he fulfilled while captaining the Coyotes from 2003 until 2017. Although he couldn't secure a Stanley Cup championship during his tenure, his impact on the organization as a whole was undeniable. Even today, Doan's records remain intact, His 402 goals stand as the all-time franchise record for goals, and he also holds records for the most career points at 972, most games played at 1,540, and most career power play goals at 128. Doan was a true embodiment of leading by example, displaying calmness, composure, and reliability when the Coyotes needed to secure crucial victories. Hopefully, in the future, the Coyotes will find a player who can follow in Doan's footsteps and reignite the team's competitive spirit, making them an exciting force in the league once again. LA Kings, Dustin Brown. We know what you're gonna say, and yes, we've heard of two guys named Wayne Gretzky and Anze Kopitar, but there's a compelling case to be made for a captain who guided his team to 2 Stanley Cup championships, especially when no other captain in the franchise's history can claim even one. Dustin Brown assumed the role of captain for the LA Kings in October 2008, becoming the 13th captain in the franchise's history. He played a pivotal role in leading an 8th-seeded Kings team to their first ever Stanley Cup triumph in 2012, a historic playoff run that saw a red-hot LA squad hoist the cup in only 20 games. Brown's performance during those playoffs was nothing short of remarkable, tallying an impressive 20 points. While Brown may not be considered among the top players in the franchise's history, he embodied the heart and soul of the team, setting a relentless example in every game. He will forever be enshrined in Kings history as an extraordinary leader and captain. Minnesota Wild, Mikko Koivu. When the Minnesota Wild selected center Mikko Koivu in the 2001 NHL draft, he not only exceeded their initial expectations, but he went on to become a foundational pillar for the franchise for over 15 remarkable years. Koivu assumed the role of team captain just 7 years after his draft selection and proceeded to establish himself as a central figure within the team. His playing style was characterized by a strong emphasis on creating opportunities for his teammates, a trait that still sees him holding franchise records for most points, assists, and games played. Regrettably, his tenure with the Wild concluded just shy of his intended retirement when a torn ACL injury in 2019 sidelined him. This unfortunate injury led to Koivu hitting free agency and eventually signing with the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he played only a handful of games before formally announcing his retirement. San Jose Sharks, Owen Nolan. Selecting the best captain in the history of the San Jose Sharks is undoubtedly a tough choice, given the legendary names like Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, and Joe Pavelski, who have all worn the C. However, for this distinction, we're going with a classic choice, Owen Nolan. As the first overall pick in the 1990 NHL Draft, Owen Nolan joined the Sharks at the beginning of the 95-96 season and took on the role of team captain in 1998. In a short span, Nolan established himself as the face of the franchise, earning a spot at the NHL All-Star Game during his debut season with the team. However, it was his memorable second appearance at the 1996-97 All-Star Game that truly etched his name in Sharks history. During the third period, in front of their passionate home crowd at the Shark Tank, Nolan famously called the shot, leaving an indelible mark on the franchise's lore. While you may not find Nolan at the top of all-time franchise statistical records, his unwavering commitment to giving his all for the team each and every night earned him a special place in the hearts of fans. For many devoted Sharks fans, Nolan's departure from the Sharks locker room felt like a loss of a piece of the team's heart and soul. St. Louis Blues, Brett Hull. Brett Hull not only stands as one of the most beloved players to ever don a St. Louis Blues jersey, but he also played a pivotal role during his captaincy, rejuvenating the team after years of disappointment. Hull was an impact player who possessed the remarkable ability to turn the tide of a game with his scoring prowess. He still leads the franchise in many scoring categories, including most goals, power play goals, game-winning goals, and hat tricks. Under his leadership, the franchise enjoyed several deep playoff runs, although falling short of winning a championship during Hull's decade-long tenure with the team. In recognition of his achievements, the Blues paid tribute to Hull in 2006 by officially retiring his number 16, a feather in the cap to an incredible career. Columbus Blue Jackets, Nick Foligno. Yes, we know Rick Nash was captain of the Blue Jackets for 4 years, but their most impactful captain was most certainly Nick Foligno. Drafted in 2006 by Ottawa, Nick was traded to the Jackets in 2012 and named team captain ahead of the 2015 NHL season. He would go on to be the Columbus captain for 6 years before being traded to the Maple Leafs in 2021. Foligno's crowning moment came in the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs when his Jackets shocked the NHL by sweeping the juggernaut Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round, earning the franchise their first ever playoff series victory, led by the tenacious leadership of Foligno. He may not hold many franchise records, or any for that matter, but his stamp on the franchise came in the form of his hard-nosed play. He was tough to play against and set the standard for the franchise on what it meant to play with heart, an identity the Jackets are striving to capture again. Las Vegas Golden Knights, Mark Stone. Yes, the Vegas Golden Knights are a relatively new addition to the NHL, but their early success in 2018 was truly remarkable. It's no small feat for an expansion team to achieve significant success right out of the gate, but the Golden Knights did just that. One of the significant milestones in the Golden Knights' young history was the appointment of Mark Stone as their first ever captain in 2021. Stone, who had been acquired from the Ottawa Senators, immediately committed to an 8-year contract with Vegas, solidifying his role as a leader for the team. Stone played a crucial role in the team's 2023 playoff run, collecting 24 points in 22 games, including 11 goals as they captured the franchise's first Stanley Cup. As the young franchise continues to grow, it's no doubt Stone will live on as a Vegas legend. Florida Panthers, Olli Jokinen. From 2003 to 2008, center Olli Jokinen emerged as a prominent figure for the Florida Panthers. He led the Panthers in various offensive categories, including points, assists, and shots on goal. Jokinen made the most of his opportunities on the ice, even though the team struggled to make it to the Stanley Cup playoffs during his prime years. The Panthers roster lacked the top-tier talent needed to support Jokinen during his time. Nevertheless, he brought a sense of tolerance and hope to Panthers fans throughout his 5-season captaincy. To this day, Jokinen remains top 3 in franchise records for goals, assists, and points. Seattle Kraken, Mark Giordano. Well, this was an easy one, considering Mark Giordano is the only captain the Seattle Kraken have ever had. Shortly after the Kraken entered the NHL in 2021, they named veteran D-man Giordano their first ever franchise captain. Giordano was an obvious choice at the time, having been a captain for the Calgary Flames for 8 seasons prior to being picked up in the expansion draft by the Kraken. His legacy as the team's captain would, however, be short-lived, as he would be traded to the Maple Leafs at the trade deadline in his first season with the club. Since then, Seattle has yet to name a team captain, leaving the door wide open for someone to take this title in the future. And there you have it, a complete list of all 32 NHL franchises' best captains. If you liked this video and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Drop us a comment below and let us know if you agree or disagree with the names on this legendary list. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.